Chelsea is in terrible shape, if you ask me. Gun business is what I call it. 3 players are the only players that I'm going to be rooting for from this Chelsea team.
Terem Moffi is actually a talent I'm really excited about. To be honest with you, this move came as a surprise. I mean, he did move from one mid-table team to another, basically.
Mario Lemina, the Gabonese international, he's made his move to Wolves. I'm a big fan of him. Do you trust these sort of like Anelka types who just kind of are journeymen and move from club to club?
No.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Afro Rooted podcast. I'm Agazi, joined as always with you and Kana. And on today's episode, we're going to be covering our top players who made some big moves. However, the one thing to note about these African players is that they actually didn't feature in the World Cup. So to kind of kick us off as EU, he's our resident Chelsea spy, looking across from North London. Let's get going. So our big 3 Chelsea signings that maybe aren't as big as the other 3, but they're making a big difference is Noni, Madueke, Fofana, and Benoit Badiashile. What do you think about this sort of business from Chelsea?
Scattergun business is what I call it, Agazi. Thank you. Chelsea is in terrible shape, if you ask me, honestly. All their transfer strategy was obsessed with who Arsenal is signing, obsessed over who Arsenal is signing, and just like try to chase us around the park, offering more money to the players that we are trying to sign. But
you guys have to make a move too, man. You're talking about Madueke.
I don't even want to hear it, bro. They're just snakes, bro. Shout out Todd Bowley. But speaking of the African players that they signed, I think they have a lot of potential with these 3. And these 3 players are the only players that I'm going to be rooting for from this Chelsea team. Noni Madueke plays for PSV, played against Arsenal in the Europa League. Looks really good, highly technical player, really progressive with his dribbling, and is always on the move, trying to play the ball forward. Really exciting talent. I think he's going to be one of Chelsea's better players and probably even like displace the likes of Sterling and that snake on the other side of the front 3. And then Datro Fofana, good cameo last game. Good cameo last game. Dr. Fofana is looking good as well. He almost scored. He almost won Chelsea the game last game, dribbling around the goalkeeper. And just missing with the defender getting in the way. But he's another one that is probably on like the edges of the team, might not be the main guy just from the offset, but was linked on a loan move away from Chelsea back out in the January transfer window. But he's another one that looks actually pretty solid as well. And then Benoit Badiashile is... Oh, what a player, bro. Left-legged center back is absolute gold, money. And it was really good to see him play the last couple of games. I'm really excited for his development. Hopefully the rest of the team doesn't play up to his standards, but he's started 3 games, 3 clean sheets. Dude, he's an absolute force, really calm on the ball. So really excited to see him. I think asterisk here, by the way, he hasn't committed to Congo. He hasn't committed to France either, but dual nationality, one of the players to look out for.
To be decided. Yeah. It seems like we're getting a lot of top talent from Ligue 1, and we're gonna get to another player, number 4, who is Terem Moffi, came from Nice. He was a part of that big win that beat Marseille over the weekend, 3-1. So again, you're kind of our resident Liga, analyst. What do you think about Moffi, and also what do you think about this talent that's coming in from the French league?
Terem Moffi is actually a talent I'm really excited about, and a talent I've been keeping an eye on this year, especially. To be honest with you, this move came as a surprise to me because, I mean, he did move from one mid-table team to another, basically, moving from Lorient to Nice, and I feel like Lorient just lost two of their best players mid-season, and I don't know necessarily if this is like a move forward for him in terms of like move, like especially in mid-season. I don't know how he's gonna end it. He's managed to bag 12 goals in the first half of the season, which makes him, I think, joint fourth with 4 or 5 other players, including Neymar. Um, I mean, it's a good buy for Nice, definitely. I feel like that's good business for them on their side. But he was also being linked to like Premier League teams like West Ham and other teams as well. Like I think Brighton was another team that were looking into him. And I would definitely wanted to see him, finish at Lorient this season and then go to a Premier League team. So him moving to Nice, I don't know how that's gonna affect that, right? So it remains to be seen how he's gonna end the season. If he doesn't mesh well with this team, that means it's gonna hold him back a little bit, which will decrease his value as well. So I'm really split on this transfer. I don't know if it's necessarily the right move for him, but him as a player and as an individual, I feel like he's on the right track, and he's gonna be Nigeria's next superstar after Victor Osimhen, hopefully.
You know, I'd like to show Nigeria's got talent. That's definitely for sure. So another player who also kind of made moving down the list to number 5. This is another player who also kind of made the move to, may it came to the Premier League, but it is again kind of a risky move in terms of they might get relegated. Dango Ouattara. Pardon me again if I've kind of butchered his name. But what do we think of him and him playing the Premier League? Are you excited or are you nervous for him?
I mean, again, like I'm excited for him that he's in the Premier League, and I get that this is like maybe like a once in a life, well, not once in a lifetime, because he's a player on a right trajectory. Like I'm excited to see him in the Premier League, but again, like he was having a decent season with Lorient, and I feel like maybe he wasn't patient enough in terms of the transfer, and moving to a Bournemouth, he's basically puts him in the same situation as Kamaldeen Suleiman, who just moved to Southampton. These are two Premier League teams that are fighting for their place in the Premier League. They're in the relegation battle, and if it's a gamble for Ouattara, it's a great sign for Bournemouth.
Okay.
And but I don't know. I think it's a gamble for Dango, man, because if they don't manage to make it out, if he doesn't settle in very well, then he's going to be playing in the championship next season unless he has a clause in his contract, which I'm not sure what his terms were when he signed to Bournemouth, unless he has a clause in his contract that allows him to leave if they get relegated. Then I feel like it's going to be a waste of a season for him.
I want to bring EU in.
Dude, don't you think that it's a better opportunity? He's 20-year-old striker from Burkina Faso. He gets the chance to play in the Premier League, which is the biggest stage of all, like domestic leagues wise.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest opportunity. He's still 20 years old, so he still has a long career ahead of him. He's already shown his potential. We talked about him a few episodes, not few, like 5-6 episodes ago. We are really excited by his performance in AFCON. But yeah, I mean, dude, he assisted for a goal in his first match. He's already made 2 appearances for Bournemouth, and I think the risk is probably that Bournemouth is being managed by Gary O'Neill, who obviously made a good start when he came into the Bournemouth job. But I think, dude, why not? He's 20-year-old. He still has a lot of potential, and this is a good stage.
I mean,
also guarantees playing.
For me, I don't think it's.
Go ahead, man.
I mean, I was saying it's not necessarily I feel like the move that I'm concerned about. I feel like it's the timing. If you're Lorient was having a decent season with him and Moffi, they had a great thing going, a good chemistry between the two. And all of a sudden, I just feel like you should have ended that on a good note and then moved on to the next chapter, right? So I feel like he was still on other. I'm sure Bournemouth was not the only team that was available for him. So I feel like it was just a matter of like patience. I feel like maybe he just jumped the gun a little bit too early. You wait and finish good. I feel like offers were still gonna come, especially when you're young. Like that's you could still you could argue both ways. I guess going to the championship at that age is not bad either. But why not finish your a decent season you've been having?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much of a Premier League bias on the Afro Rooted podcast. We're for African football, not English football. Um, but I just want to make a point. Bournemouth
Yeah,
comes to Lorient with 20 million euros in their pocket for a 20-year-old. Bro, there's no way they're gonna say
yeah,
no. Of course, like there is a chance that like his value goes up
yeah,
over the course of the season and some bigger transfer. But um, I think the Premier League teams just have this purchasing power these days, where they can just go to any team, especially in like Liga and and down like Bundesliga or whatever, and just come and say how much do you want for this player. And like a lot of the time,
yeah,
um, like you might miss out. Like if they say okay, we're gonna sign someone else, there are other wingers out there, then you're out 20 million euros, and if he gets a bad injury, then you're it's tough luck. Um,
I
I
mean,
know to add on
yeah,
to
but
that point,
also,
but
yeah,
I was gonna say, to add on to EU's point, he's right. It just seems like now the Premier League by far just has, especially post COVID, the amount of purchasing power is ridiculous. Like, I mean, he's not African, but Nicolo Zaniolo wanted to leave Roma and was about to get linked to Bournemouth. But the only reason why Bournemouth is in the conversation is because they have the money. They can actually make the offer and pay. So they're just, I think even if it probably is maybe worth it because let's say this goes to the Premier League, then they get relegated. But if he plays well, if he can kind of show teams that he can play in the Premier League, he can score goals. That was Emmanuel Dennis. Watford got relegated last season, but people could see that he could score goals. I mean, granted, he's not scoring goals anymore, but it's you can still if all you need is just kind of like give him half a season, and boom, you'll get your
yeah.
chance.
Well, I mean, all I can say for him is like now that he's already made committed to Bournemouth and signed, we just want him to shine and actually get that chance, right?
yeah,
Because hopefully because usually when it's not a given, right, that everybody comes to the Premier League and hits the ground running. There usually is like some sort of, if you're not like, I mean, some players get on very well, but like for most players, there is an adaptation period, and like I don't know if half a season, hopefully it's a good. I don't know if that's long enough for him to adapt, right? So I mean, it all depends on I guess the player's effort and how he meshes well with the team. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't see, obviously, but I just hope he does get that chance to shine. But my point is just the timing, like I said earlier.
yeah.
Well, if there's gonna be one player that knows about moving from club to club, it's gonna be Mario Lemina, the Gabonese international. He's made his move to Wolves, and he's someone where he actually came from Nice, ironically, but he's now at Wolves and he's kind of making an instant impact. He's someone where we've seen almost everywhere in the Premier League before with Southampton, but also played his time at Juventus and even Marseille.
Fulham.
I'm a big fan of him. Oh, pardon me,
Mhm.
Fulham as well, and even Galatasaray. You, for example, do you like these sort of players who are? I mean, Lemina, we know is his quality, but in terms of just like, do you trust these sort of like Anelka types who just kind of are journeymen and move from club to club?
No, we don't trust Anelka over here. Okay,
Oh yeah, there are still.
we don't trust
Hey,
Anelka. No,
you pushed the wrong button here, man.
Oh
wrong
my
player,
day.
Agazi. Um, no,
Wrong
honestly,
example to give,
He's
man.
misunderstood. He's misunderstood.
no, no, honestly, yeah, misunderstood. Good one. Um, no, honestly, Mario Lemina is a good player. And I think the Wolves have have their eyes set on Ruben Neves leaving the club. Um, and they're looking for capable replacements. Lemina, the worst case scenario, he's gonna offer a good like rotation option. So he is a good player, and I think yeah, he's gonna do a good job for uh, for Wolves.
Mhm.
And the fact that he moves around probably isn't a indictment of him, more of the situation of the clubs that he joins and uh,
Yeah,
the bad planning that they have on their end. He's probably just a willing player to move wherever football takes him,
yeah,
and I actually kind of like that.
Can I? Would
yeah.
you
And
want me to
just
run
to
you
add,
down his club list just real quick on that point? Just because he was in Marseille from as a youth as well from actually at Lorient, Marseille, Juventus for 2 seasons, Southampton for 2 seasons, Galatasaray on loan, Fulham on loan, went to Nice for 2 seasons. Now he's back in Wolves.
yeah.
I mean, I've got no problem with that, honestly. But
I mean, the great thing for Wolves is that they're not. They're getting a player that knows how to. If anything, him moving to different clubs shows you that he could adapt to any situation. Right? He's a fast learner, fast adapter, and he is used to the Premier League. Right? He's not. He's played for more than 2 teams in the Premier League. So I feel like the Wolves right now, like they're close to the relegation zone. So maybe they don't want to take the risks of signing a fresh young player. They just want somebody that's that they could trust, that's more stable. And just like you said, I feel like if anything, he offers more stability to the team.
mhm.
And if he's not the guy to like the main starter, like he's a great player to come off the bench and have as an option. And I think that's why Wolves, selected Lemina.
Well, he played his part definitely for sure this past weekend in dubbing Liverpool 3-0. So he has my approval. So I'm not gonna come out to him. Now, the last player to kind of cover, Paul Onuachu, also to Southampton. Again, I'm so sorry for the pronunciations, boys. Yeah, but Kana, you're a big fan of this kid. What do you think about him? Also, kind of
Ama?
risky move or excitement? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think of him?
I mean, another Nigerian striker that we got on our
Oh, another
hands.
one. Oh, I
You
didn't
know,
get out of here.
I feel like again he's in Southampton. A risky move. Always going to the relegation teams, but it is a good opportunity for him. I would say, especially because he's 28 years old and kind of in his prime. So I feel like now is the time that you gotta come to like these sort of teams and show your worth. And we have Kamaldeen Suleimana as well that they signed. So hopefully these two are create some sort of chemistry and like adapt fast to the Southampton team, and maybe that's the X factor that they've been missing, and they can stay in the Premier League, man. If they stay in the Premier League, I think this is gonna be great for him because he'll be able to stay play top flight football. And yeah, I mean it's another great signing for Southampton. Again, the players are the ones taking the risk for me in this point, but there you could also argue that it's a great opportunity for them. So only time will tell how it's gonna go down.
Would you be you? I don't know if you still play FPL. I mean, if you're losing, it's kind of hard to play again. But would you put this guy in your FPL team,
Top of
especially
my
over
league,
Che
by the way.
Adams?
No.
Would you put him in over Che Adams? Actually,
I mean, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have any Southampton players in my team.
Yeah, man,
he's like,
But
"What are you doing?"
yeah,
we ain't doing that.
uh, yeah, no,
We're like, whoa, relax.
no way, no way. I have him in my team. I don't think anyone. Maybe Badiashile might make my FPL team from the players on this list, but other than that, like in terms of high scorers, like Southampton isn't like a high scoring team, so like why would you put one of their strikers in? Mid as far as midfield talent goes, Lemina isn't a goal scoring midfielder. So, anyways, I think FPL. If you're a fan of FPL, here's my advice. Badiashile is the best option from this list of 7 players.
If anything, thanks to
I
him,
mean,
I think
yeah,
he makes
for sure,
FPL look
but
good.
not if Chelsea getting scored on every time, though, man.
Only clean sheets so far. I mean, hopefully they get scored on soon, but he has 3 matches, 3 clean sheets. Um, I have Kepa and goal. So thanks to Badiashile and his gorgeous left leg, they're keeping clean sheets. So I'll take it how it comes.
And on
Yeah,
that,
support.
yeah. Well, on that note, yeah, those are our top players. Our top players who didn't get the chance to play in the World Cup. Made some big moves this past summer. We made another list as well, another video where we covered African players who were in the World Cup and some of the big moves they made and also didn't make. So make sure to go check out that video. And as for this list, let us know: do we miss anyone, or do we make a mistake? Is the order even right? Let us know in the comments below. And yeah, let us know which players you think should be in here or shouldn't be in here. So yeah, thank you guys again for another great episode. We'll see you guys again later.
Peace.